Hamnet is the latest historical drama that's been getting showered with praise left and right from critics all over. So is this just the latest Oscar bait movie of the season, or is there actually something deeper here? Let's talk about it. Hamnet is the newest movie from director Chloe Zhao, starring Jessie Buckley and Paul Mescal, and it follows the powerful story of love and loss that would go on to inspire the creation of Shakespeare's timeless masterpiece, Hamlet. So I'm somebody who had to read a good deal of Shakespeare while I was in school, but Hamlet was never really one of his tragedies that I latched onto the most. I was more of a Macbeth and a King Lear guy, if I'm being completely honest, but whenever there is a film adaptation or something inspired by his work one way or another, my ears definitely perk up, and I'm curious to see what they've got cooking. Now with Hamnet, I like the actors, I like the director, and I've been hearing good things when it comes to reviews out of festivals. So is this another one of those movies that is just made to be gassed up by the critics and win all of the awards, or is there legitimately an emotional and satisfying experience to be had here? Well, I'm happy to report that Hamnet is indeed the real deal and is one of the best made films of the entire year. When it comes to the story they decided to go with here, I think this is just one of those movies where you'll instantly know if it's your cup of tea right from the get-go. I mean, period piece, old English, silly outfits, it's all in here. But if you're somebody who has a familiarity with Shakespeare and is interested in grappling with his favorite ideas like love and loss, there's a lot in here for you to unpack. It's an experience pretty much showered with symbolism from top to bottom, some of which I'm still grappling with and deciding if what I noticed is actually too much of a stretch, and some that is clear as day and really hits the nail on the head when it comes to tackling the themes the film puts in front of you. I think there are some moments that might seem a little redundant or maybe even insignificant when films kind of veer into that slice of life territory, which this one definitely does, but it never failed to re-engage me and get back on track with every new development and plot point. Tighter pacing might actually diminish the sheer humanity of it all, so pick your poison, I guess. Let's dive into the performances that the cast offers up in this film, because when a movie is out here trying to make use of the GOAT playwright William Shakespeare's best stuff, you gotta come correct. And luckily, the acting from this group of actors is easily one of the high points of the film. Jessie Buckley is the heart and soul of this entire movie, and she pretty much needs to express every single emotion under the sun, since we have a jarring story about love and grief on our hands. And then you have Paul Mescal, who I could listen to read the phone book at this point. The guy is just always bringing his A game time after time with no signs of breaking his streak. There are a few specific scenes in here where he kind of lets his temper get the better of him, and it seems almost impossible that everything he's spouting out was in the script because of how organic it all feels. There's also an impressive group of young actors running around in this one too. Noah Jupe, who's not that much of a kid anymore, has already proven himself in projects like Honey Boy and Ford v Ferrari, but he's solid in the small role that he has towards the end of this movie. But the actors who play the actual children of our main characters do a good job, especially Jacoby Jupe, who is Noah Jupe's real-life younger brother. But this entire cast makes you feel like you're watching a legitimate family go through all of these hard times, which is probably the biggest compliment that I can give. Another aspect that needs to be discussed when talking about this film is the atmosphere it puts forward from the technical side of things. Something that really struck me while watching this movie is the score in particular, or even more accurately, almost the lack thereof. Outside of a few key moments over the course of this story, the music really takes a back seat for the vast majority of the runtime and lets you get totally enveloped in the emotion occurring. It pretty much exactly mirrors how fragile and delicate everything you're seeing on screen is. Like, you could hear a pin drop in that theater when I was watching this movie. I remember my wife was slowly zipping up her coat in the middle of the film, something you obviously wouldn't even notice during a movie like The Running Man, and it literally felt like it was the loudest thing in the entire world because of how dead quiet the pivotal moments of this project were. Chloe Zhao is the woman sitting in the director's chair this time around, and I've been a fan of everything she's capable of bringing to the table in the past. We don't talk about Eternals in this household, but you look at something like Nomadland, and she shows that she's not afraid to let a moment linger and let her actors really put in the work, which is no different here with Hamnet. You could make the argument that the direction here might actually even be too simple and straightforward, but when you're trying to make the audience feel like this is a lived experience, maybe that's the best way to make it happen. Overall, guys, Hamnet is a well-made, impressively acted, and emotional journey that fans of all this Shakespearean type of subject matter are gonna completely eat up. Some of the old English might not be the easiest thing in the world to understand, and maybe a few scenes here and there could use a touch of trimming, but Chloe Zhao does a good job behind the camera, offering up a raw experience that is elevated by the likes of Jessie Buckley and Paul Mescal. This may go down as the most human movie of 2025 when it's all said and done. Hamnet gets a Sully score of 4 stars. So that's my review of the latest Shakespeare adaptation, what do you think is the movie you're looking forward to the most for the rest of 2025? I think I have to go with Marty Supreme with Timothée Chalamet, but let me know in the comments below what you think. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys at the next one.